Okay, another question. Why do I feel like everything depends on me? And what that is a pressure. The pressure of the self-seeking mind saying that it has to answer everything and the outcome has to be exactly to this picture. Meaning, I can only be happy when I get the outcome I want. And the outcome is very specific. The partner, my life partner, has to look exactly like this. They have to be this type. And if they're not that type, it's not quite right. I have to live in this area, in this type of house, with this type of job, with this type of income. The self-seeking mind has a very clear picture of what it wants because it says, then I'll be somebody, then I'll be happy. Then I'll have it the way I want it because that's what I need to be happy. And so then it tries to control the board to make sure it all lines up, right? And that is a tremendous pressure. And you may end up with the job you wanted, the income you wanted, with the house you wanted, with the partner you wanted. You end up with all of it, let's say. Not always, but that does happen. And still you're empty. Still, it doesn't do it. You feel more flat, more empty, more unfulfilled than ever. Because now you have everything and it's still not it. And it's that constant trying to control, trying to make sure that I control everything because I have to have the outcome that I have to be fulfilled, to be happy. And it's because you're so close, you're so wrapped up, so close in the world of the egoic mind, in the conceptual mind, in the ideas of who you think you are, of what the conceptual mind's values of this hierarchy. And therefore, what you have to do to become somebody. You're nobody if you don't have that job. You're nobody if you don't earn a certain amount of money. All of those values are the framework of who you think you are. It's like that reality is based on the self-seeking mind, the egoic mind, that whole framework. But the whole thing itself is not real. But when you're in it, it seems like that is reality. It seems like that's the only value there is. But it's not real. But when you live there, you have to control everything. And the reason why you've got to control everything is because you've got to have those outcomes. It feels like life or death. It feels like this is so vital. You're under so much pressure from it. The pressure is killing you, literally, because of the stress and that constant pressure. Then you have to, have some sort of valve to pull the stress off of yourself. So then you have to then do things to escape that pressure, and then the escapism becomes an issue in itself because now you're drinking, but the drinking's become too regular, or whatever the addiction is to let off the pressure. It doesn't matter what it is. There is so many different ways that we get addicted. Shopping, drugs, sex, everything and anything becomes a way to let the pressure off of yourself. But the pressure has been created by the constant support of and the values of the egoic mind, the self-seeking mind. That's its values. I have to become more. I have to be somebody. Because it starts from a place of feeling like it's not enough. And then that will be particular to each individual in how you feel like you're not enough, depending on your conditioning and your upbringing. You weren't clever enough, you weren't pretty enough, you weren't whatever enough. I don't mean to be blasé about it, but it's just, it will be, whatever your conditioning was, will then fit into the main framework of not being enough. So everybody has the main framework, not enough, and then the conditioning, fill in the gap, whatever that one is, whatever your particular one is. And as you get to know yourself, you'll know that that's what your ones are. And then you'll operate from there, trying to become more, to be enough. And then you have to control everything to make sure that it ends up going the way you have to have it to go to be happy to become somebody. Or otherwise, you have utterly failed, the mind says. The conceptual mind, the egoic mind, the self-seeking mind says, you have failed, you're no one. That's huge. That amount of pressure is huge. Stress, so it creates a huge amount of stress. And that's why we try to control. Okay, hopefully that helps.